This Warriors Life podcast 2024, episode 16. Will Evans and Brad Larking here on a Friday afternoon. Bit of a bonus for you on this lengthy 10-day turnaround. So you got your nutrition and your protein, your mindfulness from the pod with Sammy and Fonzie the other day. Now it's the end of the week. Treat yourself to a bit of junk. Flat out on the couch, bowl of chips, beer, maybe some Seinfeld reruns, and just have a bit of fun. Relax. You've got to the end of the week. Brad, mate, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. And isn't it good? We felt I thought everyone's been a little bit dispirited about the Warriors this week. It's first time, so not totally dark and still quite optimistic, but first time we've been felt on a downer. So I just didn't feel we could go into the weekend feeling that way. So like you said, it's a bit of a junk podcast. We're sort of scratching the barrel, but just taking people's minds off what's been going down and having going into the weekend a bit more of a positive attitude, eh?
Yeah, sounds good. I felt a bit better actually after talking to Sammy and Fonzie the other day. They were a bit more circumspect. I really dwelled on it over the weekend, the Anzac Day loss, and obviously coming off of two disappointing efforts. But yeah, it's another week, another chance to get things back on track. So
no, they're both definitely cup half full, weren't they? It was quite reassuring. Because they are especially Fonz, he's a savant, and it's nice when he's still positive. Once he starts panicking, Jesus, I'll be starting to get nervy, scratchy. Yeah, I think if he's out, I'm out. But let's go. Sam did.
Thanks again to Sammy Hewitt from SENZ. Always fantastic to have on the show. Feel bad taking up so much of his time, but he's just such an engaging guest. And, never makes you feel like he's trying to get out of there, that's for sure. So, good time, Sammy. Brad, do you know who I like? King's Container Crew.
Oh, good blokes. Actually, I've got to talk to those boys. I know a couple of boys shifting to Aussie to help their mate out, who's in the juniors, a little bit homesick. He's in the juniors at Penrith Panthers. So big brother's shifting to Aussie, and his mother works at Placemakers. And I said, hey, I know a crew that your son might slip in with straight away. So, I'm actually going to touch base and send him that way. But anyway, give them a spiel. Who are they? If someone hasn't heard of Kings by now, who are Kings?
Well, King's Container Crew are the best, quickest, most best value container crew throughout Australia and New Zealand. They're everywhere throughout the Antipodes. And you just got, if you're not using them, I mean, I don't want to put myself up for libel here, but if you're using anyone else, you may as well just put all your shit on a raft and
you got rocks in your head
from the beach and hope for the best.
Yeah, rocks in your head. Yep. No, they're a good bunch. They are a good bunch. And just knowing the blokes.
Supporters of this podcast, by the way.
Oh, are they? Oh, that's right. They do have a little bit to do with us as well. Yeah, true.
But great blokes. I miss Tom already. It's only round 3 that we met him, and can't wait for the next time. Stoked to see Carlos and for you to meet Carlos actually, and against the Carlos, Storm coming up. So,
heard only but good things. So sweet. What have we got highlighted in today's show though, mate? For this fancy Footloose Friday.
It's been so busy talking footy that we've sort of fallen away with 30 for 30, so I've got a couple of them up my sleeve for today. Yeah. Reasonably topical. Chat about the mix and pick game. Yeah. You've got a special segment, Brad. It almost ties into the old short-lived but insanely popular "Which Warrior Would You" segment from about 2020.
And that's sort of where I got it from. I was like just thinking, geez, what did we used to do? I was just trying to remember back to the old. We've been doing this for a while now, man.
Yeah, we have. 6 seasons.
Yeah, that's out of it. But so you're just harking back.
When we didn't have Fonz, we actually had to come up with all sorts of filler.
Yeah, we did, because we had no content. That's as much as we could, anything good coming out of our minds. But you're dead right. But
we used to preview every game. Just to fill the space.
Be an 8-hour show now. But just harking back to the good old days, just having a bit of fun. Bit of fun.
And before you tune out, if you stick around, there's some more Joe's Garage vouchers to give away. Another supporter of the show. We gave away a few vouchers earlier in the year. A whole bunch of Antons snapped up the prizes.
That's right.
There's something, I still haven't gotten to the bottom of that, but yeah, the investigation's still ongoing. This is impossible to, they can't rort this one. So, yeah.
You cannot Google search this answer. No.
2 $50 vouchers to give away. So, yeah, stick around for that later on in the show. Yeah, Brad, well, first of all, mate, how are you feeling after Anzac Day? I know you kind of got saved somewhat from the Dragons game because you were out camping.
Yeah, I know. I had this one full flight. I had it. Yeah, I'll paint a picture. Up in the bar, had a mate around. Positive. Had me new jersey on. I've got the away jersey this year. I love it. Had that on, full of positivity. Come up here, 12 minutes in. Think top of the world. 12-0 up. Here we go. But then, by Christ, did the wheels come off? And same with my attitude, my behaviour around this friend who had never seen me acting in this way. There was all sorts of words being thrown around that I would never say in front of my mother. It was horrible. I was so downtrodden and angry, blood boiling. But then we had the comeback. So then it picked me up a little bit. And then come the end, come full-time whistle, I was sort of just sitting there laughing, shaking, and just thinking of it is exactly this Warriors life, eh? It's like, I was imagining the bandwagons, the dudes that are only just on the bus, they've been standing up in the aisle all of a sudden, just waiting to sneak off that bus. Yeah, I was sort of laughing, going, yeah, well, this is the real Warriors life. Climb on, have fun with it. I wasn't too bad after the fact. Still didn't watch a replay. Oh, no, I did actually. Tell a lie. Fuck. Titans though. Why did I open my mouth? I said it. I called it.
Yep, you did. You really, set the tone for what happened.
Who was that poor bugger that tagged us in the message saying he was off to his first ever? He's a big.
No, it was Nick Phillips telling us that he'd been to his first ever Titans game. That was that last round of 2022.
Oh, is that what he said?
Ran down in impossible circumstances and lost in Golden Point with a Tanner Boyd again field goal. Jeez, it's like making him bumping up his stocks, don't we?
He's got a pill on him, eh? He looks like one of those Easter Island statues. His nose sort of starts up, sort of the top of his head, and comes down right down. He holds it. He holds it together. I'm not saying he's ugly, but he's got some features. Jeez, he's got some features.
Distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a good friend from high school way back in the day that not a league person at all over the years, but was headhunted to work for One New Zealand from overseas, came back to New Zealand and about the start of last year. So is absolutely all over the Warriors. Obviously has a lot to do with them through work, and then and has just been loving it, going to every game, totally on the bandwagon. And like everyone, getting totally caught up in what happened last year and just all the hype.
Yeah.
And I mean, we love our bandwagon fans.
Oh,
stay on, jump off, get back on again. Doesn't worry.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was at the game the other day, and I think now finally getting a bit of a taste of what it can be like.
Yeah. How's she handling it though? Is she still handling it?
Yeah. I think because I think this is a very small taste of.
I think one thing that the other thing that the bandwagon is, and like I say, I'd love it. We want as many people behind this team as we can. The good thing about the day one is we're very supportive. We'll nurture them through these tough times. We've had to nurture ourselves through these tough times. We know what it's about. We've had the experience that we can pick these bandwagons back up again, dust them off, and go, come on, mate, let's have another run, eh? So just stick with it, kids.
Well, speaking of Brad, we've been in some big holes before, and dug ourselves out of in
Yeah.
unexpected circumstances. Just one game is all it takes.
Yeah.
So I have for this next 30 for 30, marking 30 years of the New Zealand Warriors, and 30 sort of tidbits of history we've dug up. And for this one, I've gone back to the biggest Warriors slump busters. So when the Warriors have been in a bit of a hole, the games that have sort of dug them out of it. It hasn't always resulted in finals footy or, a complete turnaround, but it has, sparked something, got the fan base back on board and fired some sort of run. So
yeah. I'm digging it.
Right back to 1995. So
Is that when we had to dig ourselves out of our first slump? Was the first year? Gee whiz. Are these going to be Are these going to be concurrently? Is it 95, 96, 97, 30 years?
There's about 10 or 12 here. So starting with 95, obviously everyone remembers the hype train of the 95 Warriors, sellout crowds. It's a little bit forgotten that we were 1-4, and that the 2 points we did get from a big win over West had stripped off them for an illegal fifth replacement. So essentially we went into round 6 with 0 competition points in the debut season.
Yeah.
What it took, though, was a round 6 game at home against Illawarra Steelers. Now, we'd already lost 40-28 in round 2 to the Steelers, which was a real reality check because, everyone's thought after that epic first game against the Broncos we wouldn't lose again. Certainly not to the Steelers. They gave us a big touch-up in Wollongong. But when they came to town, we finally got our first 2 competition points, 38-12. Sean Hoppy, a couple of tries.
Oh, in the rematch.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the Steelers were a pretty highly rated team back then. John Simon and the like, Rod Bishop, Paul McGregor.
Ian Pinchinelli.
Is it
Pinchinelli?
Yeah.
Remember that? That was that card that when you collect the league cards, and he would be in every stinking pack. You'd have 2 Lazaruses, 1 Siren, and an 86 Pinchinellis. Yeah.
Oh man. Big win there, and it sort of put the Warriors on track. They actually only lost 2 of their next 13 games to seemingly put themselves on track for a debut final series. Obviously didn't work out that way. Lost to a couple of heavyweights at the end and then missed on for and against when that stripped 2 points would have got us in the finals. But nevertheless, there was a pass mark that first season.
Yeah.
Every reason to think that they were on their way. Now next 1997, bit of a disaster. John Money punted midway through the season. Frank Endicott takes over in halfway through the year. Took him 4 games to get his first win, old Frank.
Did it? What did Money hand him over with? Any win? What was Money's? What was the whole streak? I think I missed that.
He'd just lost his last 3, so we ended up losing 7 straight. Heading for the wooden spoon, actually, were last on the ladder. Then a gritty 11-8 win over the Sharks at Mount Smart. The Sharks were hot shots then. They went on to make the grand final, clearly the second best team in that Super League comp. And Mark Ellis scored the Warriors' only try, and we hold on for an 11-8 win.
11-8.
Went on to win 4 of our last 5 and finish 7th. So,
7th. Was that the year that we played the Super League teams?
Yes.
Because remember, that was the only shining light that year. We thumped Bradford by 50-odd points, and those Super League teams come over, and we actually thumped them a bit. So at least we had that to dine out on during that season.
Yeah, so they parlayed that late season charge in the their domestic premiership into the Super League finals and pushed Brisbane all the way in a classic semi, actually. So promising finish. Didn't quite work out that way in 98, another poor season. Jumping ahead to 1999 now, Mark Graham. A tough first year for the arguably the greatest Kiwis player of all time in charge there. Matthew Ridge getting suspended every 5 minutes. But we, again, went into the end of the year full of hope for the future. on the back of having only won 6 games in the first 22 rounds. The Warriors just came out and beat eventual grand finalists St George Illawarra 32-18.
Oh,
among the try scorers that day, Stacey, Ali Lautiti, Cliff Beverley off the bench, and Odell Manuel.
where was this?
That
At home or?
That was here too.
God, that's almost worth a search to watch that game. That'd be a cool one.
It is online. It was good. And there's some great wins from later that season. That famous 42-0 shutout of the Knights included in that late season run. 2001, Brad. This was, the year most famous for Daniel Anderson coming on board, the likes of Kevin Campion arriving, and us making the finals for the first time. But it was a close run thing, actually. We heading into round 21, we're on the ropes. Certainly not certainties for the finals. Lost four of their last 5. And then out of nowhere, an unexpected 34-8 destruction of the second place Bulldogs set them on a course for the finals. Out of nowhere.
That's it. This Warriors life.
And this is a team that had Justin Murphy at fullback scoring a try. Wairangi Kopu filling in the centres.
Oh, makeshift. Murphy at fullback.
So, scored a try. Kopu in the centres, So it's amazing just those unexpected results can change the course of a whole season. Jumping right ahead now, there wasn't too much to speak of in the interim, but 2007. Now, this was, until last year, this was the last time we made the top 4, coming home with a wet sail in the regular season, but it wasn't looking that great on the back of a 6-match losing streak on the first half of the year. So at the end of round 13, we had a 4-8 record.
Yeah, paint a picture me. Who's this team? Who's the coach? Who's the players sort of involved this year?
Ivan Cleary's second year. Wade McKinnon come on board.
Yeah.
And who else was there? We had Ravelli and Witt in the halves. Nathan.
Okay. Yeah, I know
obviously
where you're at.
Foundation of Price and Wiki and the like. It's actually at the end of this winning streak where I'm going to pick up this sort of slump busting game. It was another loss. It was a 4-2 loss to the Storm, the lowest scoring match the Warriors have ever been involved in.
Was it a try or 3 penalties?
A try to Jeremy Smith for the Storm and one penalty goal to Tony Martin. But it sort of
Tony Martin
turned the Warriors into a bit of it showed that they could defend. They've been hemorrhaging points, I think, the previous few weeks, 40 points, 30 points, 30 points, 24. That gritty display sort of turned them around, and then a week later they beat Cronulla 12-2 and, stormed into the finals on the back of that turnaround.
That's one thing I always remember of the Cleary sort of tenure. They always started real patchy and the defence was terrible, and they just tightened up every season. They'd tighten up mid-season and get the defence right and come good come the end. It just depended on how far back we were if we were going to get to the 8. But out of it. They were good years. I'm looking at one of those. I'm looking at the jersey that Witt, famously that Melbourne Storm didn't put the ball down straight away. Yeah, that was a good time, actually. A good time. Whoa! Just about drowned himself in a swallow of beer. Out of it. I just witnessed you dying. That's out of it. Oh well. You all good, bud? You all good?
I'm good. And I'm just looking out the window. My dog's about to scare the shit out of a courier. Hold on. He's looking weary.
Yes. Couriers are so gun shy, eh? They're so gun shy. Every person says, "Nah, he's all right. He's all right," and they're just saying in their head, like, "Fuck, that's what that dude said about 20 minutes ago."
Should put that dog down.
3 stitches later.
We're going to jump ahead to 2013, Brad, and anyone that's listened to the podcast long enough has probably heard me going on about 2013. It wasn't a great year looking at it. I think we finished 11th or 12th in the end, bit of a fade out at the end, but had featured one of the great giant killing streaks in Warriors history through the mid-season. We beat every contender. It was an amazing time under Matt Elliott as well. But the Warriors were just on fire. You know, Sean Johnson, Glenn Fisiahi, Manu was at his absolute peak. Mateo was on fire. Tommy Luluai it was a great time. But earlier in the season, they were on the ropes. Won 2 of their first 10, culminating in a 62-6 record then, 62-6 loss to Ivan Cleary's Panthers at Penrith. That was a low point for every fan.
62.
I think they got absolutely panned for laughing around with some of their ex-teammates, because I think Rory Brown was there, Isaac John. And it was just such a low point. Then 8 days later, come to Mount Smart, Newcastle, who were decent then. They actually went on to make the preliminary final that year. We come out and beat them 28-12. I think it was Simon Mannering's 200th as well, and he scored a great try. Turned the season around from there. We went on, beat Brisbane a couple of times, beat the Manly, beat the Roosters, beat Melbourne. It was a great time.
Was it all for nothing? Did we make the semis?
No, we didn't. Faded out.
But we're upsetting. It's quite good being that upsetter. I don't mind, because there's always an upsetter come finals time. People with dreams of, like, what's it called? Winning the comp. But what's it called? Winning the comp. How could I not think of what is going on sometimes, eh? I wonder if I should go for another checkup, get a little scan.
You're taking a few head knocks, Brad, in the West Coast comp, in the West Coast Schoolboys comp.
O'Brien Park. Oh, shit.
2014 now, Elliott gets punted after 5 rounds. Andrew McFadden steps up to the plate. A couple of tough losses early on. We've won 2 of our first 7, and looks like another wasted year. Head to Amy Park for Anzac Day. Famous 16-10 win. Sean has it on a string. David Fusitu'a, blinder in one of his first NRL games. I think Sam Tompkins actually scooped the 3 Dally M points that day. Thank you very much.
Did he?
Yeah, and it kickstarted the Warriors season. Actually,
was that one where Sean just dummied his way in the corner there? Is that famous one? Yeah, Sterlo's commentating it, just loses his shit.
Yeah. Oh, not that. That was the preliminary final.
Okay. Yeah. This is why we need Fonz, man. This is why we need Fonz. Because you can't get there with me, I'm telling you.
Didn't Brandy Alexander put Johnson through a gap? And
John Simon got that last conversion.
We went on to miss the finals by the smallest for and against margin in the history of the NRL.
What was that number?
I think it was like 16 points.
Oh, I've actually I looked at the Sorry, just a quick segue. First segue. We've done all right. The points ladder, in terms of ladder, our for and against is still looking all right, eh?
Yeah, well, we had one bad loss to the Dragons, but we had a bigger win over the Rabbitohs. So.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was looking so far better than who we're sitting equal point pegging with at the moment. Anyway, sorry, where did you get to, mate?
We're up to 2015, so 3 years in a row, a bit of a slump-busting performance. Battled through those early rounds. Sean Johnson, the Golden Boot, is getting panned everywhere. I think we won 3 of our first 8. And we're coming off, coincidentally, an Anzac Day loss to the Titans at home when they had that 5 games, 5 cities on Anzac Day 2015. Yeah, we're on the ropes again. Head to Cronulla. Tough gig. And it was that classic game where Sean pulled it out of the fire. Ryan Hoffman with the charge down and long run, and then Sean the weaving run to score on the buzzer and win it 2016. From them, they're the hottest team in the comp, beating all comers, beating the Storm. When they beat the Storm, they looked like they were top 4 bound and going to win the competition. And then obviously Sean's leg got badly broken, and that was that. But yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, Sean, remember that? Sean used to get some... God, he used to get hit on, eh? Anything that went wrong with the Warriors past, his fault.
Oh, his...
Continuously.
Yeah. And seeing elements of it at the moment as well. It's just a section of the fan base turning on him a little bit. But I'm sure they'll come crawling back. 2018, Brad. Now, great year under Steve Kearney. That 5-0 start and some great memories. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, the Dally medal. But went through got in a bit of a hole and a bit of a funk through July. Lost 4 of 5. Our top 8 position looking slightly shaky. Got pumped 36-12 by the Titans.
God, them again. Why do they keep coming up in conversation?
A young Phil Sammy getting a double.
Of course he did.
Anthony Don. Of course he scored. Yeah, we're looking very, very, very shaky. Round 21, head to Wollongong, our bogey venue. Hadn't won there in 22 years.
I remember this game.
And then, an absolute classic performance. 18-12. The Dragons were finals bound too. That's one of their few good years. Solomon Ikata, a couple of tries. Big game from Papali'i. And famously, Adam Blair sealing the result by absolutely obliterating Jason Nightingale on full time to seal the 18-12 win.
Kiwi's teammate, he nailed him. That was copybook, eh? He would have been. That was that on the pick and mix questions the other week? Who put this hit on?
A couple of days.
Yeah. That is a great shot, and a great shot.
2020, Brad. Obviously, the big COVID year when the Warriors had to station themselves in Australia for the first time, but with no family for quite some time. The camp in Tamworth, obviously a lot going on. Then Stephen Kearney got sacked.
That's
and
right.
under Todd Payton, it didn't start that well. 50-6, they lost to Melbourne. Had another loss to the Titans. 46-10 to Sean Johnson-inspired Cronulla Sharks. And the game that I've chosen as a slump buster, it wasn't a win, but it was a gutsy 18-10 loss to the Roosters. And they really showed some fight. And we were rethinking our podcast. Can we really turn up every week? And then they produced that performance. And every single game, they won about half their games from that point. Missed out on the finals by a couple of wins, but they showed something in every game under Todd Payton from there. And it actually ended up being a pretty memorable season, that one.
It did.
Probably, Payton going to the Cowboys probably took the gloss off a little bit, but some absolutely memorable games in that one.
When you uttered the word Todd Payton, the first game I thought about was that Roosters game. There was hope, a new hope. It was like finding Luke Skywalker. There was a new hope.
Whole bunch of lone players doing the job for us.
That's right. We had all sorts, didn't we? Some of them were only there for 3 weeks, and they'd have to go back to there, and just like they were on working holidays. Get a French tourist to do a bit of apple picking, and then they're out straight away, showing a bit of promise. Bloody hell.
Now I'm going to go to 2023. Obviously, we were never really in a slump last year. It was a pretty charmed year from start to finish, pretty much. But we did lose 3 in a row during that tough spot where we had three games against heavyweights in 12 days or so. Lost to Melbourne, lost to the Roosters, lost to Penrith at Magic Round. Showed a bit in each. Certainly weren't disgraced, but we fell behind. Well, I think we're 5-5. Slightly worried. We need to get some wins on the board, boys.
Yeah.
And it was one of the less memorable games, I guess, of the season, but an important one nonetheless, and one that I kind of liken to this game against the Knights this weekend. It was against Bulldogs at Stadium Australia, and just a professional 24-12 win. Sean Johnson solid, Ronald Volkman coming in and doing a job and getting an excellent try. Just it's the kind of performance that I'm probably looking for this weekend. Just go through their process, get back to defending well, take their chances, and just hold on for a no frills, gritty win, get back on track.
Yeah, and you're dead right. I'd take 2 points any which way this weekend. I don't care.
I think we're at that point, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go.
Oh,
30 for 30 Sunbusters.
Well done. Jeez, you do well, Will. That's some work.
For that, mate.
Yeah, you're done bloody well. Before we hit the next, can we have some? Do you mind if we have a little bit of ladder chat? I just looked at the ladder a little bit before the game and just I thought, oh, who are we? Because once you start slipping down, you're starting to look at ways how you can claw your way back up. When you're at the top, you don't care what's behind you, but now you got down to that. So I was like, there's a lot of team. We've got that. The good thing with us, we've got that odd buy that's gonna sort of just pick us out.
Just put you on a different sort of I mean, I'd much prefer to have had that extra point too. But
you're right. But now there's a point of difference. Every time we have a win, we're sort of on our own. We're not unless we're with Manly. We're never going to be drawn with anyone.
This week we're languishing in 13th on 7 points, seemingly. But if all the results went our way, we could actually finish the weekend in 7th spot.
Exactly.
6 teams.
Of the people tied with us, the Bulldogs, they've got Tigers, so they might get some points. But in terms of the people that we could just straight up leapfrog this weekend, I don't care about who's at the top in their point, leapfrogging. Cowboys have got Dolphins. I think we can get 2 points back there with the win. Mind you, it's with the win. Eels have got a bye. Raiders have got the Seagulls. So both of them
they're probably going to go down there.
Yeah, one of us. And then you've got the Dragons, got the Sharks. So we should leapfrog.
Pumped. And the Roosters have got the Broncos.
Oh, is it the Roosters? Yeah, I didn't. Oh, the Roosters there on the same points as well.
On 8, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think that. But you know what? If we lose, we're straight to 14th place. That is not somewhere we want to be. 14th, and then a couple of them. But I reckon we can leapfrog. We can be close to 10th realistically this weekend, can't we?
Yeah.
God,
interesting. Obviously, we got out to a 12-0 lead again, Brad. We didn't really talk about this too extensively. The pattern.
Yeah,
because we got off to some flying starts this year. 12-0 against the Sharks, scored the first try against the Raiders in round 3. So Sharks, 12-0, lost the game 16-12. And it was an early lead too. Round 3, got out to 6-0, should have been more against the Raiders down here in Christchurch. And actually trailed midway through the second half. Couldn't convert. Round 4, again, another early lead against the Knights, but couldn't consolidate it. Sort of made hard work of it, eventually winning 20-12. Again, from scoring, just looking at it now, 2 tries in the first 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Manly, that was a bit of a different story. Had to run down a big lead, but scored that first try against the Dragons. Looked like we were going to pile on a whole bunch of early tries. Got pumped. 12-0 against the Titans, conceded the next 27. It's
it's a bad habit. The thing that's niggling, what I pay attention to is, especially in the modern game of league, is momentum. It's so hard if you're playing head to head and everything's going well for both teams. It's so hard to swing the momentum back in your favour to be on the front foot, and that's what you need for the likes of Wade Egan and that to show off and make them look like absolute world beaters. If you got no momentum, it sucks. We're really, really, really good at the moment at handing, like up 12-0, old mate goes for an intercept, and we've handed momentum straight back to Titans. Gifted them. I'm sick of, it's one thing I am sick of with the Warriors is gifting momentum, because it seems that we have to work so hard to get the upper after we've handed momentum away.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Interestingly, probably the 2 games that everyone would say were most impressive, the big win over South, we conceded very early, and then the loss to the Storm, where obviously we were great for half a game, conceded in the 3rd minute of that game too. But we are remarkably good at scoring an early try. Even in those two games, we scored within 10 minutes of those games, even though we didn't score first. The only game that we haven't scored in the first 15 minutes was against Manly, when it took us a while to get our act together.
So what I'm hearing there is you're telling me to put a bet on at the TAB this weekend for Warriors to score in the first 10 minutes. Because what does that pay? It must be a $2 payout, is it? And we're doing it quite consistently. Have we found a loophole in the betting? I think we have.
Man.
I was meant to get groceries tonight, but I might tell Trace I'll do it and just go. Yeah. My grocery. I'm gonna put. Yeah, I'm doing it, man. Fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm putting the grocery money this week on the Warriors to score within the first 10 minutes, responsibly, of course. They don't need. They've got plenty of food in the freezer.
Yeah. I mean, just make do.
What's wrong with last year's broad beans I blanched off?
Speaking of having a bit of a flutter, if you haven't played the mix and pick this Warriors Life prediction game, what are you up to? Everyone's jumping on board now. Everyone's clamouring for the limited edition This Warriors Life t-shirt. It's the only way you can get it is winning this. Old Forbes GP, he's excited after picking up number 008. Brad, I'm still yet to make our staff t-shirts yet. No, you do you, mate. You do you. I'll just sit here patiently. They're good. They do look good on print, though, don't they? Old mate that who was it that shared it up? The old listener, Yanni.
Yeah, they look like a good quality tee. Yeah, no, good on them, man. So where's Forbes GP based? Where's he do his thing?
I'm not sure. I think we're still waiting on the address, so I haven't been able to print that one up yet.
Forbes, come on, mate. I'm going to hold on to it forever, buddy. Jeez. That printer's sitting there warmed up, ready to rock, just waiting for you to give the okay, my friend. Probably doesn't want it. Imagine he didn't want it. Nah, I'm good, thanks, boys. Keep it for someone that will use it. Give it to someone that will use it, yeah.
Running through the questions this week, Brian from Chance. I tried to get Brian on the show today. He's still a bit reluctant.
Is he?
Yeah. He'll go good. I think he'll enjoy hearing his
fair enough. He just
Irish accent.
Is he Irish?
Did you not know that?
I did. That's never come up in conversation.
Oh yeah, he's Irish as.
Is he? He'll be putting his stuff away in the press. Do you know they call like a pantry or a kitchen cupboard a press?
So this is why we need him on the podcast, so we can quiz him on.
Yeah, these little oddities that the Irish have got. Is he short? Is he little? Does he wear a little green hat and stand under rainbows? No?
No, it's not your cliche Irishman. I think he's about our height, maybe about your build. So he's a strapping Irishman.
My build. I've got this weak, sickly-looking man.
No, Brian's in good nick.
Good nick. Anyway, sorry, back to what we're actually talking about.
The mix and pick game this week. We'll just run through some of the questions. There was who was your Warriors player of the match against the Titans, and the game has all kinds of links and videos and stuff.
I see that. It's well put together.
Yes. Yeah.
I commented early in the week his hyphenated the initials of players, the eye test. That would make a great T-shirt. Yeah. The DWZ, the AFB. Yeah.
CNKs, yeah.
That's it. That's where I'm
going. So who was your player of the match last week? What's the important factor in getting back to being us? What else have we got? Where do you see the Warriors finishing? Jeez, it's
isn't that out of
existential stuff?
It's one thing from the pod that you done with Sammy that I sort of latched onto like 6 weeks ago. We're top 4 certainty, and now it's like now we're discussing if we're going to make the 8. That's pretty hard to swallow, eh?
So it's 3 weeks is a long time in the NRL. Got also who will be the first to 12 points. Pick a Warrior to get a try. Dallin's leading that one big time.
Who'd you go?
How many points will the Warriors D give up after getting a bit shaky the last few weeks, conceding 22 plus in 3 straight games? Who will top the Warriors post-contact meters tally? Because, I think 3 of our guys are in the top 11 for average post-contact meters per game. And Barnett's not far off as well. So, and he actually topped it last week, Mitchie B. 110 post-contact meters. It's outstanding.
He's going good, eh?
Yeah, he's doing the job. A bit of trivia. Now, I'm not going to say it, so you little cheats out there can't go and look it up. Roger, how many meters will Roger run for? And and also I thought you might have something to say about this, Brad.
Mm.
The Warriors have obviously bought that bar, the Holy Hop in Kingsland, and they've put out put it to the fan base to name it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And there was a name there, when I first read that article, I was like, what's a funny spin old B-Rad can chuck on this, eh? See what I can do here. But then I read through that list, and there was one name there that just stands out to me more than any, and it was Sonny's, I think. I like the idea. And I reckon you call it Sonny's Bar, but B-A-H.
Oh, yeah.
So Sonny's Bar, yeah. Like,
I guess
like Wah. Do you know how people call it Wah?
Oh, is that where you're going?
Yeah. So Sonny's Bar, but like Wah, but bar. Yeah. But that's the one that sort of pulled on the old heartstring there, reading through those names. What about you?
Now, I guess, and just with that, they probably, need to clear it with his family and everything. There might be a bit of sensitivity around that, and it being an
alcohol establishment. Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
But I do love the sentiment. One that I actually liked, I think it was the Warrior Holic actually put this out there, and it's the North Stand, because there is no North Stand at Mount Smart, and the bar is to the north of Mount Smart Stadium, so the North Stand.
Wow. There was a podcast called The North Stand at one stage as well. Are they still around?
No, there was a View from the East Stand.
View from
the originals.
I really like that. Not the North Stand, like the unofficial North Stand, like the 19th hole at the golf course. Yeah.
It's clever.
Yeah, that's clever.
Maybe
the family restaurant can be what Sonny's Bar and a Sonny's Grill.
Yeah. So I'm sure that there'll be all kinds of little, you could have Brent Crate Day.
You could.
You could have all kinds of things. Keg Alexander, I don't know.
Keg Alexander, that's the house tap beer. Gives a Keg Alexander.
All the drip trays poured into it. That's what you get for slagging us off so much, Brandy.
Yeah, you fucking vampire looking. Yeah, geez, he doesn't like us, eh? He obviously didn't end well. Did he retire after the Warriors? Did he go anywhere else after the Warriors?
Yeah, he went back to Penrith for 3 years.
Oh, did he?
He actually was contracted to us for 3, I think, and then compassionate release to go back to Penrith. Had another few years there.
Was that around the time as... When did his brother die? Oh, that was earlier on, wasn't it? Like during the grand final days. That's right, yeah.
At least when he talks about the old days, he loves it. I interviewed him for the 25-year book, and he was lovely. But when he's talking about them on the show, doesn't mind sinking the boot in. Yeah. Before we forget, Brad, a couple of brother shows that we should mention.
Yeah.
Most specifically, the Tim and Joel show.
Yeah.
How good is that? If you're not on it yet, in particular, if you enjoy Brad's take on life, this is Brad's take on life with steroids. The Tim and Joel show. Geez, they come up with some off the wall stuff.
Yeah, and it's not about anything, is it? One week you could be talking about bloody a garage door roller, and the next week they could be talking about Joe Biden tripping up on some steps. So, yeah, it's she's all over the show. There's always something to Always saying to pique your interest with that lot.
There's always a bit of Warriors in there, though. Joel loves the Warriors.
Yeah, they're league fans.
But yeah, you can see how people get totally hooked on their show, though. And they do have a loyal fan base with a bit of Patreon support, besides being incredibly niche, despite being incredibly niche.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
good on the lads. And yeah, Tim being a good mate. Oh, both of us at school. They're both coasters. They both went to Grey High. Grey High represent, eh? Anywho,
bit of a synergy there as well. Joel's the more flamboyant, eccentric one, and Tim's a bit more laid back and has to do all the post pod production. Mate, that's probably exactly what this is like.
I've known Tim for probably 30 years, and I don't reckon his heart rate's ever got above 50. He is so flatline, mellow, medium, in control. It's not funny. I've never met a man with a stronger mind or will than that dude, and it is cash as F. Yeah, good on you, boy. Keep chucking out the content.
Yeah, we'll put a link up to that, actually, Tim and Joel show. I always forget, is it the Tim and Joel show or the Joel and Tim show?
I think it's Tim and Joel. I think you got it the right around.
That hits the air better.
That's why we couldn't call it what we wanted to call our show originally, like the Brad and Will show or the Willem, because it had already been settled on This Warrior's Life.
Yeah. What would it be? Who would get top billing if we were the Will and Brad or the Brad and Will show? What do you think sounds better?
Well, and that's it. It's what sounds better, but not necessarily the importance of the person running it. Brad and Will. Brad doesn't work. Just sounds like some American football jock. Oh, Brad. Yeah.
Are you?
It's a bit of a wanker name.
You're not a Bradley, are you?
No. Do you want to hear a quick yarn on how I got named?
Yeah.
So this is real quick, but I've always told it, and it gives me a chuckle. Mum, first time ever pregnant. You know what a woman's like. Know everything. It's a girl. It's a girl. I know. I'm having a girl. Chose the name Emma. Yeah, it's Emma. I can feel it. It's a girl. I got born. Didn't think of a boy's name. Old Brad, slippery and slender, slips out, and she's befuddled because she hasn't picked a girl's name. So she got the nurse to come into the bedroom. Is it a bedroom? Whatever it's called. What's it called in the hospital? What are the rooms?
Maternity ward.
Yeah, in the maternity ward. Yeah. Anyway, come in with the name book. Got through the A's, didn't like any A's, and then she got to Bradley. And please excuse me, this is 1980 New Zealand. This is not my beliefs. The nurse goes, Bradley? And she goes, nah, that sounds gay. And she goes, what about just Brad? And she goes, yep, that'll do. So that'll do. Yep, that'll do. I like that. So that is, she only got to B, which is something funny. I always laugh about it with the, Segway. Being a tradie, I deal with tilers a lot, and a large proportion of the tilers out in New Zealand now. A lot of Koreans come over as tilers, and they're great tilers. And it's so funny. They always they've obviously got their Korean names they've got to bring up with, but to make it easier on us, they pick out an English name, so we don't all of a sudden we're not saying. Yeah, some of those words can be quite difficult for a tongue that doesn't use their tongue in that way. You know what I mean? When you're trying to pronounce it. It's considerate. This is it. They're lovely people. But
it also makes everything easier for them to.
Yeah, exactly.
Having your name butchered every 5 minutes.
But it's so funny. I've been keeping an eye on this, and I've never met many Koreans that have got past D. They're all Allens, Andys, Aaron, Daniel, B's. So you get your Brendans and that. They just obviously rifle and get sick of looking at these English names. And I very rarely have seen one get past D. I don't know. That's just.
So when you come across a Terrence, you'll be like, I didn't like anything you saw from A to S.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's got perseverance. He doesn't mind working. He'll stick with the job. Yeah.
You're my man.
Z's, though, have just not found anything they like, and they just give up. Yeah, that's the end then. Anyway, sorry.
Similar story. Well, not similar, but I was, my parents didn't know what they were going to have. And if I was a girl, I was going to be Renee.
Oh, Renee.
Yeah.
Ooh, Renee. But they never had a second child, so they never got to use the Renee anywhere. They just got parked. Is that your middle name? Will Renee Smith.
Yeah. You know, my last name's Evans, though.
We let my oldest boy choose, like when Trace was pregnant with our second child, Otis, we let Ted pick his middle name. We're like, middle names are like, you get your traditional. It's like, bugger it. Probably should have gone traditional, but we let him choose, thinking it was a cool thing to do. And he's had another little fit in the background. But and anyway, it was good in the end. He chose Fox for a boy. So we've got Otis Fox Larking. That's cool. And forever he can say my older brother Ted gave me my little. But if it was going to be a girl, Ted's choice was Handbag. Hazel Handbag Larking. So Jesus, are we happy it was a boy? But anyway, that's is that enough of family tree?
We did also want to mention thanks to the big show on Hauraki with friend of the show Mike Minogue, Jason Hoyt, and Keezy.
Keezy
for this Warriors.
I reckon Keezy's going to take a little bit more winning over though. He wasn't
really keen to mention it.
He's going head to head.
His show.
Exactly. Fair enough. Podcast. Fair enough. We'll get him though. We'll get him.
But yeah, thanks for the plug.
Yeah.
Mike. And
No, it's good. It is. It really is.
In its own right. Plenty of Warriors in there when they can.
Charlie Gubb. They have Charlie Gubb on once a week. Jeez, he's a funny bugger. Jeez, he's a funny bastard. Oh, he'd be a great get for the show. Hard shot. Just cleaning out shitters in Wellington there, eh? Has he got Portaloo Company? Just like that. What was that Aussie movie? Kenny? Remember Kenny?
Kenny. Do you think he's and it sort of ties into what we're going to come to a bit later, but do you think he's on the front line?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever been, that day that being a builder and you see that truck come up, that big vacuum cleaner just sucking in the wafted across the building site. Holy roly hey. It is terrible. Far out. Shall we talk some rugby league? Where will you get what's
may as well.
Yeah.
So we've got another. I'm going to move that segment back again. We're going to go for the 30 for 30.
Yeah.
And handpick this one to time with your segment, Brad. But some of the great farewells in Warriors history, and there hasn't really been that many.
You were struggling with this pre-show.
Yeah, I thought, the beat, and you think of all the players getting farewelled at the last game in the home ground, but just so many of our greats sort of got farewelled unexpectedly, or injuries. Injuries ended things early. It was really hard to come up with a list.
Yeah. How many did you get out of that? How many good farewells? Like over a 30-year, like you don't need that many farewells. Like there's not going to be one every year or every second year, is there?
No. Well, I've got a handful here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to look into the archives.
Oh, yeah, digging through. You got that he's got one of these ladders that have got wheels, the old school libraries, and he's just wheeled that ladder across the room on wheels. He's third from the top shelf in his archive there, and it looks like looks like he's found the book. He's climbing down the ladder and coming back to the mic, and he's just starting to, here it is. Has he found it? There it is. There you go, Will.
Yeah, so 2002, and this is a bit of a sort of double-barreled one. The Warriors obviously won the minor premiership in the final round. A couple of freak results, and obviously the Bulldogs lost all their points for the salary cap scandal. Yep. And we won the minor premiership with a win over West Tigers in the last regular season game. And it also doubled as a bit of a farewell for the retiring Ivan Cleary and the departing Kevin Campion. Obviously, such a big part of that side that took us to the minor premiership and the grand final. So, and also both players, exiting as grand finalists.
So what year was that?
Game was 02.
02.
Yeah. So
How
Ivan
long
Cleary's
did
last
Campion
game
actually
was,
play?
only 2 seasons for us.
Yeah,
And
isn't it out of it how
Cleary-
much of an impact he made over 2 years? We could, like, if you thought of him the way he's sort of carried around as a Warrior identity, you'd think he would have played 10 years for us, eh? But it was 2 seasons.
Yeah, and Ivan Cleary's similar. I guess it'd be interesting to see what his legacy would be like if he hadn't gone on to coach the club.
Yeah.
But he only just clicked over 50 games in 3 seasons. So, but he had a huge
Out of
impact.
it.
He was massive fullback for those trailblazing teams that made the grand final and finals for the first time.
Yeah. Out of it.
Yeah, next one I've got, Brad, is Stacey Jones, the first time.
Yeah.
2005, I believe it was at Brookvale. And we were well out of finals contention. Manly were in the finals, I believe. No, maybe I can't remember.
2000. Yeah.
Anyway, we're limping.
You don't have to
towards
remember
the end of
everything.
the season.
We don't expect you to remember everything. Some will attack this folly you've just served up, but most of us good bastards will let you have that. You're all right, mate. It's okay.
Thanks, bro. Tail end of the Tony Kemp era, and Warriors had lost 4 straight heading into the last round. Stacey's already on his way to Catalans. Head to Brookvale, and 22-20 upset with Stacey scoring the winning try. So,
Oh, that's
for us.
fit. Yeah, exactly.
How good's that?
It is good.
Yeah, and deserving.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest, and I'm not sure if he was sort of given a proper farewell at the time in a regular season game. But Ruben Wickey's last game at Mount Smart, the blackout semi-final of 2008, when he pulverised Sia Soliola into the next dimension. The game was all about Ruben. Blacked out the stadium, 25,000 there. One of the great nights in Warriors history.
That's all. I know Ruben probably wouldn't agree, but that's almost better that, like, as a fan, to send him off there in that occasion, as if they had gone to win a grand final, and him to be celebrating it with sort of 5,000, 10,000 people that could make it to the grand final. I reckon that, and as a fan, that's a far better way to send off at home, blacked out. Remember, that was a psycho hit. He was running like the what's that? Jerry curls then, eh? It was all, he had the Brill cream and the contact, and there was fluid flying everywhere. Yeah.
He actually played one more game, the preliminary final loss in Sydney a week later. But yeah, great farewell from Mount Smart. Simon Mannering, 10 years later. This could not have been scripted much better. 300th game, last regular season game of the 2018 season. Another massive crowd, and we beat Canberra, and it was just all about Simon. It was amazing, obviously a huge and unique achievement for the club. Some would say our greatest player, certainly in the top 2. And what a way to farewell the fans there. Obviously, didn't go quite so well in week 1 of the finals in his last ever game, but a memorable night there to go out on.
Yeah, I don't think he's our greatest as in terms of talent, but definitely our greatest in terms of who would like to model the club around. Definitely. Yeah, what a weapon. 3, yeah, that was great. They were doing all those, was it the Mandarin and the Metallica font? Weren't they? There's a lot of people running them. Yeah,
those T-shirts.
Everyone just, pigeonholed him into being a metalhead bogan. It turns out he is. He's got a Holden sacked out on some rims. Yeah. We need to get him back too, actually.
Yeah.
Come on, Si, give us. Yeah, he is. That's what happens up that Motueka area, though. People just disappear, man. They kick their shoes off at the entrance to that bush track, and you never see them again.
Do you think we need to do a welfare check? He's the sort of guy that you want to model your fan website and podcast logo around as well. I don't know if you've noticed, Brad, but it's actually...
I know. He's front and centre. Front and centre. Did he give permission? Did you have to ask permission for that? Or you just snatch it?
I don't know if I had to, but I didn't. So hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me.
Yeah. Better not upset him. No, you're all good. You're all good. So he's good. Jeez, he's a good bastard. He's a real good bastard, that Simon. Anyway, who was next?
Last one, Brad. And a bit of a polarising figure that we've talked about, a bunch of universally beloved club legends. This was one of the more polarising Warriors, but Adam Blair. Now, he actually, had some ups and downs for the Warriors. 3 seasons, the last 3 seasons of his career. I think he redeemed himself in that 2020 season. Obviously, we needed leaders. I think a lot of public sentiment went out with that picture of him hugging his kids at Auckland Airport as they went back into the unknown of the pandemic in Australia. Finished on a bit of a high, and his last ever game was against Manly in the final round of that season on the Central Coast, 40-28, entertaining win. Had the obligatory shot at goal.
Did he? I love that. Love that.
He had the shot. Yeah, I love the retiree shot at goal. And quite a moving finish with the haka and everything.
Yeah.
Some really memorable moments from a crazy season.
I like, as much as he frustrated me, I loved a bit Adam Blair, Harry sort of forsake his reputation for the good of the team. He would do something to make him look like a see you next Tuesday if he thought it was going to help the team. Yeah, I like him. He's cheeky. Geez, that scrap's good. What was your best convert? Remember that? What was your? I'm just trying to think. Was that Bobcat? Who was that guy at the Bulldogs? Bobcat. Did he get the last conversion and got it, and then slipped on the Bobcat that was at the back and just about cut himself open?
Yeah.
Or was that after a try celebration? I can't remember what that was.
It been a try, but he like tried to jump onto the
onto the blade of it
and slipped and just about busted his hip. If he wasn't retiring then, he definitely had to after that. Some great retiree.
Yeah, shots
a goal. Nathan Highmarch, the classic one.
Oh, yeah, it's a goodie. It's a goodie.
But, yeah, I mean...
Jonathan Thurston's. Yeah. Oh, hang on. He kicked goals all the time. Andrew Johns. Hang on. Lockyer. Hang on. Geez, Darren Lockyer, doesn't he look more and more plastic every time you see him?
He looks like a Thunderbird. That hair transplant was the worst thing he ever did. He looked fine. No. He could pull off a thinning hairdo.
It's like,
he didn't even have to fully shave. He looked fine.
Oh, I know. He was one of those guys that suited a shaved head, and but it's like he's got like his skin in a bobby clip behind his head, eh? And his face is all, like Abe Simpson when they pull him tight and he looks like Homer. I reckon if you just let go of that clip, Lockie, he's starting to scare me. Another welfare check, maybe. We've got a lot of welfare checks to do next week.
My favourite pre-Johnson player of all time, and you do bring him up in that shot at goal as you retire conversation, Brad.
Yeah,
he's one of the oft forgotten hilarious fuck ups of all time. So, the 2011 Four Nations final, Australia beat Great Britain in a bit of a canter. So they give Lockie. They score a try right at the end. They give Lockie a shot from right in front, end of the game, sprays it.
Did he? Oh, I did not know. Did he?
Yeah, it was good. His last act on a rugby league field, missing a goal from in front. Probably one of the top 10 players of all time. But you can't all be like Adam Blair and get a cushy media gig after you retire, Brad.
No,
it's not the NBA. You're not making hundreds of millions. Most of the boys have to get some sort of work afterwards.
Stand on their own 2 feet for the first time in their life. A lot of them.
So they've been playing full-time footy since they're schoolboys.
And that's what started this conversation early in the week, and the homework I sort of set as well. I'm an aging builder, so I'm always trying to think of an easy way out. So if anyone out there is offering 25 hours for about 100K, give me a bell. But anyway, so I was sitting in, as I do every morning. I get up in the morning and I go out to the glass house with a cup of tea. I have a little vape. I check my emails and then just wonder what I'm doing with my life more than anything. I started thinking about life after building, but then straight away I was like, well, what about life after footy? And then I was like, well, the easy one's a franchise, isn't it? Would you go franchise just to get your foot in if you had a pocket full of cash?
all the work's done for you.
It's set up, isn't it? Yeah.
There's none of that annoying grunt work at the start.
You got a bit of backup. You know you're paying them more because they're going to get a bit of a coin from it. It's just how it works, though. So then that's what led me into life after footy. And the first franchise that came to my mind was bloody Jimbo and his lawn mowing.
Jim's franchises.
Jim's. And then I was thinking, hang on, I think there's a bit more to Jim these days. So then I done a bit of digging, and there's over 50 divisions to Jim these days. It's not just your lawn mowing. They go from your normal lawn mowing to right down these days. They do beauty therapy, which beauty therapy it's an out of it one, because the last thing I think of when I see that bearded man on the side of that green trailer is beauty therapy. But yeah, they've got it all. So then I said us the home, didn't I? I said, here's 5. I've picked 5 of the 50. Let's liken a player to each of these 5 franchises. Understand?
What they would when they hang up the boots.
Who do you most liken? Yeah. Who can you see running the Jim franchise? Capiche?
Yeah,
sweet.
Got it. Yeah.
So here's the 5 I picked. You got to go the OG, the mower. Yeah. You got to go the OG, the lawn mowing. But then there's Jim's jumping castle and party hire. You've got Jim's bookkeeping. Jim's bookkeeping, just keeping everything on the straight and narrow. Life coaching, and Jim's blinds and shutters. So, if we go the mowing, Will, who was the first person? Well, who did you think? It's not the first person. I done a little bit of analysis for each of these and formed an argument. So who do you chuck in the mowing?
I probably haven't gone as in depth, to be honest. This was a bit of a last minute assignment for me. So I'll just my answer for the mowing. I thought Tamare Martin would be well suited to this. It's a bit of an outdoorsman. Mm-hmm. He's got his boat and stuff. He'd go around doing his little mowing jobs. He's such a beautiful man. All the customers would love him. He'd have his shirt off while he's doing his mowing. I think he'd quite like it. Just pottering around doing, nothing too strenuous. Just some small lawns.
He'd look good out in the sun too, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Shit, he'd look good in a gym singlet on someone's front lawn.
Just doing some edges with the whippersnipper.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to strongly disagree, and I'm gone without question. It's got to be Jacko Ford. In my mind's eye, I can see this lunatic punching out 17 lawns. Then at 4 o'clock every day, he'd have a white Hilux with like a maroon canopy, like a canopy he's just found off Marketplace, and that fit, and he's got that tied on with a rope. That ute in the trailer will be at a pisser every day, and his grass-stained green hands will be wrapped around a big bot every day. 17 lawns. 16 big bots. 17 lawns, 16 big bots. So I'm going Jacko Ford.
I like that, but I've actually got Jacko Ford for another one. It might surprise you, Brad. So stay tuned.
An honourable. I think it's the only honourable mention I put, but I put an honourable mention. Just Webby, only because Jesus, a strawberry blonde loves thrashing themselves in 12 hours of sun, don't they? The amount of those dudes that pick an outdoors job with their inability to handle sun, but they're still out there weeping and sweating and glowing. They look like seagulls. They've got red legs, red face, and if they took their shorts and t-shirt off, they'd be white. They're white body, so they're all seagulls. So yeah, that's that one. Who you got on your party hire?
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I was really looking at the jumping castles angle. I've got Tane Tuapicky. He just seems like a bouncy, jumpy,
he looks like a gymnast.
He's got a great smile. Kind of happy party sort of guy. I think he'd blow up the party hire, the jumping castle, and he'd demonstrate for you. I think he could do a few flick.
He could smack a decent backflip, that dude, eh?
Yeah,
you're right. He'd have some moves. Well, that's not a bad shout. I've gone for who's going to be able to make the most money out of this venture, and I've gone for a Dylan Walker. And sort of like a Del Boy Only Fools and Horses sort of setup. You know what I mean? Like the husband's organises parties, giving his missus a handful of cash. Kid's birthday party. We need money. We're going to have a party. We've got to hire a bouncy castle. Yeah. She rings up, Dylan, can you do me? I can do your castle, love. No worries. Imagine him just sliding in there. Just old mate's money is paying for this wife's cash. He'd get every ounce out of him. And I reckon at the same time, he'd have a boot full of like air fryers and that he'd be selling to all the mums at the birthday party for cheap. So I reckon, yeah, only fools and horses. Dowboy Dylan Walker. That is my choice here.
Oh,
he would make bank.
Very deep there.
Yeah, real slippery. All right, bookkeeping. Is this?
Okay. Okay.
Is
so
this?
Just bear with me here.
Yeah. This might.
So one of our good mates, one of our oldest mates, and definitely our oldest mutual mate, Kenny Frisbee, is he's a bit of an eccentric, bit of a lunatic, great bastard, and also both of our accountant. And so because of the bookkeeping thing, I thought who in that squad reminds me the most of a potentially young Kenny Frisbee, and I came up with Jackson Ford.
Oh, that's not a bad shout.
Bit unhinged, good, good bloke, super fun. Mate, always makes you a little bit nervous to be around.
Remember he was with Kenny Frisbee. Remember that concert we went to of Kenny Frisbee, and we broke backstage that Julio Iglesias, and we're backstage and we're yelling out Jose Gonzalez. And security were worried about us. Yeah, that was that's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout.
That was a Monday day show.
What's that?
And also like an unlikely savant type. Like Kenny's pretty much Rain Man. He was ducked
blessed with brains
without even trying.
Yeah,
and I feel like Jackson Ford could be like a secret brainiac.
That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument.
Figures.
Yeah, no, it's a fair argument. I went for this. I was going for the smart looking ones at first. So first one, Chance, Tamari, look smart, and Jesus, I'd look good in a suit. Really fill out a suit. Just make me, yeah. But then I was like, right, who's gonna find me some little loot? Who's gonna find me some little secret bits of pockets of money that I didn't know about? Straight away, Jazz is my man. Yeah, Jazz is my man. He's going to find, you should buy a caravan and say it's a site shed for you. Just sort of like, Kramer's lawyer or for Seinfeld, like that. Just, yeah. So I went Jazz for that. Life
good. I like that.
Your life coach, surely both of us have got the same life coach here.
Oh, I don't know.
Jim's life coaching. This actually exists too. Jim's life coaching. Yeah.
I've gone Tohu. Are you just saying, he's obviously our captain. He's very wise. He's softly spoken, just seems very considered every time he talks. He's not going to give you some bad advice. And, and if you go to him and you, oh man, I don't know what to do. The Kiwis have selected me again. You just say, look, mate, just say you're injured 8 years in a row. You don't have to play for them. Problem solved. He'd be a great life coach.
So you've been thinking, I've been thinking different angles. There's people working it. I think Tohu, you're great. He'd be a steady influence in someone's life, wouldn't he? But what if you had a lunatic? You got to be a bit of a lunatic to be a life coach, to be so drunk on your. I've gone Dallin, man. Confidence, spirit, tenacity. He is like, honestly, for fuck's sake, the dude has a luxury watch company. If that's not, he's like a Tate brother. He's a life coach, man. Enough said. Mic drop. Done.
The luxury watch company. It looks all right now because everyone loves Dallin. He had that amazing season last year. 2 years ago, that luxury watch company was looking like a bizarre.
It was one of the most befuddling sort of setups. Yeah, it was. Gee whiz.
Now there's Warriors pictures all over the ads. And but good luck to them. They're nice looking watches, though.
They are nice looking watches. And they're very affordable. Like, they're only like, what's the most? 1,500 for a watch? Which isn't too much, really. I think, is it under $1,000?
Ones. Obviously, we don't have one.
Get a G-Shock. Get a G-Shock. Who's doing your gyms? Who's buying the gyms, blinds, and shutters franchise?
I've gone SJ for this one.
Oh,
I mean,
clean.
clean cut. Probably doesn't want to get his hands dirty. Doesn't want any drama. Doesn't want to be rushed. So he just turns up, does a bit of measuring up, has a cup of tea with the.
That's exactly
And then and he's like, oh yeah, no, well, it'll take about 12 weeks for for these blinds and stuff to get made. So,
and we'll only be able to get the areas that you don't necessarily need blinds, and then the bedrooms, they'll be 12 months later.
Meanwhile, he's going on a worldwide golf tour with the family.
But
I just think it's a nice cruisy thing for Sean to.
That's what I think, and same reasoning, but I've gone tohu, because I can imagine him sitting on the couch with this old duck, having a cup of tea and a bit of shortbread, just finished putting up a nets in the little pensioner flat, just sorting that out. He's got this little 2-step ladder and a tape measure hanging around, like those sewers tape measures hanging around his neck and pencil behind the ear. Yeah, I've gone tohu. It just looks like clean and fluffy and nice.
Yeah, no, he'd be good at that. To wrap the segment up, Brad, there seriously is 50 different things here. So we're going to choose which of these, if we had to pivot into one of these, when if and it's a big if, this podcast dream doesn't make us rich, what franchise are we going to pivot into? What did you choose for the one you would do?
I'll go the antennas. Just chucking up sky dishes, mate. What do you need? A lot
of time. That's a lot of time.
Ladder and drill. Ladder and drill. It's like some of the best places in the world's just sitting on a roof watching the world go by, isn't it? You know what I mean? Remember? I'll go the antennas. It's all lightweight. An antenna doesn't weigh much, and you've got me questioning myself now. What do you go for? What do you back yourself in dominating?
Well, I was, tempted by the Jim's remedial massage, but I did get sore hands. Jim's pool care sounds good on the surface, but you only really have to go around to real gross pools.
Yeah, so, that's it. If someone's asking for help, it's
if it's luxurious and lifestyles of the rich and famous, their pool doesn't need care. They've got people taking care of that.
Yeah, you're not in Los Angeles, mate. You're not just hooking out leaves. I reckon you're doing complete renos of pool. Like, absolute situations have happened in this pool, and there's 16 broken glasses and 5 lumps of feces lying around there. Can you sort that out?
I'm probably going to live to regret this, but I might give the Jim's dog wash a go. What do you reckon?
Dog wash. So has he just done an addition on his lawnmower trailer? Just put a dog wash in there. You put a lawnmower one side and a dog wash the other. That's an out of it thing to do.
Just a hose in a barrel.
Put the dog in it. Yeah, out of it. Jim's dog wash. Yeah, fair enough. It would be. I don't know. Big dogs would be.
I'll try. I'm not saying I'm going to do it forever, but
I just can't. Dogs. I can't handle that after wetness dog shake. You know that one that you think.
My dog. Every time you go to the beach, and you might do a shake before getting into the car. Every single time shakes just before you let her out. Drives me absolutely nuts.
That's your dog. My dog is Segway. What's with dogs locking eyes with you when they're taking a shit on the lawn, eh?
I know this. I know the answer to this.
Do you?
Because they're well, this is what I heard. That they're taking a shit, they're quite vulnerable. So they're looking towards you for reassurance. Like, you got me? You got you.
Oh, is that right? What do they think's going to happen to them if they're a noose open?
Someone jumps the fence and sprints at them, and they still haven't cut it off.
Is that what it is? Out of it, but they do.
Well,
you feel it too, eh? You feel it. You're at the bench taking a sip of your tea, and you're like, hang on, someone's watching me here. And you look out, and there's a dog peeling one out, staring you, locking eyes.
Yeah, well, we've got a massive front lawn. Sometimes you look out the window, Molly's like 70 metres away, and you can feel it like a laser beam. Look at it, like, fuck, you got me here, bro.
Heating the side of your face. You got me here. Can you take care of things for 30 seconds, bro? I'm otherwise occupied.
Okay, so but which franchise do you not want to do? There's it's hard to sift through the ones you wouldn't want to do. Jesus.
Conveyancing. Get fucked. What does it mean? What does that mean? It sounds like ringing councils and dealing with people that are hamstrung by the person above them, and then the person above them, and then the person above them. Now, I think it's conveyance. Is it? I don't know. That's why I wouldn't want to do it. I don't know. I don't even know what it means. Why would I want to do it if I can't work? I've never come across that word in my life.
It's the transfer of legal ownership of a property from one person to another, and it involves a fair bit of paperwork.
Get fucked. Nah.
But what? So you chose conveyancing?
Yeah, definitely. No reason. Bores me to tears.
I had to sidestep such franchises as Jim's Termite and Pest Control, Jim's Pet Patrol, Jim's Hazardous Material. Fucking hell.
No thanks. Hey, no thanks. All of it is just death on a stick. You're just signing your life away. Just asking for cancer.
Unless you have some sort of previous experience, if you're looking through those 51 options, who's choosing hazardous material? Anyway,
there's money,
like a gap in the market.
Like my plumber mate says, there's money in shit, mate, and I'm picking it's the same with hazardous.
Yeah, true.
They charge like a wounded bull.
You've moved in near Chernobyl, and you're looking for a franchise to pick up. But I don't know why, but this really stuck out. Like, I'd get up, wake up, and think, oh, fuck, every morning. Jim's tree stump removal. That would be shit.
Just yanking on it. You just got you got your ute in reverse forward, just yanking on this stuff.
Isn't the whole thing just wrapping a chain around?
They do the grinding. I suppose they do the grinding, but the grinding's so
that would be even worse.
How loud is it? You're annoying neighbours. Any neighbour in a kilometre square radius. Far out. Kilometre square radius. How many times do I disagree with myself in one sentence then? But yeah.
It would be satisfying getting that stump out, but
in the end, I've seen all those YouTube vids. You'd forever have a broken window in the back of your ute, from that stump that pinged out and flew through your ute window. It sounds like hard. It's too hard.
Yeah. I've spotted one that I wouldn't mind doing, actually. Gym security would be quite good. As long as you didn't have to, do you think that entails post installation care? Like, you have to turn up if something happens, or it's just going around and putting the cameras in? And
that's a wide umbrella. Is that doing the door at nightclubs, or is that checking that businesses haven't been tampered with during the night? Because if it's business haven't been tampered, I remember Armaguard. I used to work somewhere. All they used to do was fold a bit of paper and squeeze it between the door, and if the paper had fallen out in the morning, it means someone had been in there. Hey, cheers, bro. Well worth that money.
We don't know who it was,
but they've been in, man. But there's someone. I don't want to scare you, but there's someone's been in here, man. I folded a bit of paper 11 last night. It was out 7 this morning. Someone's been in here while you're asleep, watching you. Anyway, I'll catch up.
Sleep tight. Yes, another valued supporter of the podcast has come on board this season, Joe's Garage. We gave away a few $50 vouchers earlier in the season with a bit of a trivia question. Didn't actually talk about it, but afterwards just talked about who won, but it was obviously been Joe's Garage. 3 Joes or Josephs that had played for the Warriors. And, of course, it was, maybe I did talk about it anyway, it was Joe Wagner, obviously, Joe Nullavow, and the one that stumped a few people, Joseph Werner. But people are pretty quick on the dial for that one. This one, bit trickier, Brad.
Yeah.
So we thought outside the box here, and Joe's Garage. We're big fans of the franchise anyway. They're everywhere. They're in Dunedin. They started out in Queenstown. A few in Auckland, obviously 4 in Auckland, in the greater Auckland area.
Oh, we're going to have to make sure that the winner, when it comes to that Auckland round, is in the Auckland area, so then we can then have breakfast with the winner at Joe's.
Yeah, you got to take us if you're an Auckland winner. But so for this one, just imagine in your mind's eye that me and Brad are down at a Joe's Garage franchise, taking Brad out for our annual Christmas lunch because I got one of these $50 vouchers.
Yeah.
So you've got to correctly guess, or the closest guesses will scoop the prizes. What would me and Brad order? I'm willing to go over 50. I go a few bucks over 50. So I'm going to pick one main, one drink each. What are we both going to choose?
Yeah.
Closest answers.
Yeah.
Scoop the voucher.
Almost. What have you learned about us people sitting out there in podcast world? What have you learned about myself and Will over the last few years? What meal are we going to eat?
I think we should give them a hint, Brad. My hint is I fucking hate eggs. So anything with eggs in it you're going to be wrong. And you're going to be, even if you get everything else right, you're disqualified.
And my hint would be I'm not adverse to alcohol before 12 o'clock. That doesn't worry me. So there's a hint for my meal.
Yeah, well, I think it goes without saying our drink is going to be an alcoholic beverage. So, yeah, go to the drinks list.
Right.
So if you go to joes.co.nz, click the menu button. We'll go off we're going to go off my local one. So I think they're more or less the same, the menus, but I'm choosing something off the Joe's at Ravenswood Central. That's my local. So yeah, we're going to get a main each and a drink, one drink. Could be something from Brekkie, could be a roll, could be a Joe's fave, could be a burger, could be a salad.
You don't make friends with salad. Everyone knows that.
That's true. Yeah, it's not.
There's another hint. Why are we going near a bloody salad? Jesus.
So yeah, there you go. Send your answers direct message to the This Warriors Life Facebook or Twitter, or email will@thiswarriorslife.com with your answers. Yeah, good luck.
Oh, yeah, sweet. What have we got left in the show tonight? Well,
I don't know, Brad. Your mic's going a bit haywire. I don't know if we can.
Is it? Yeah,
segment.
You've been signaling me in the background, but I don't know what you're trying to tell me to do. Am I pushing away from the mic or to the?
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I can see it's frustrating you there.
That sounds all right.
Is that all right there?
Yeah, that's good. Don't move.
Was it vibrating or something though, like making weird noise, or was it just?
Yeah, just a bit echoey.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've changed too much, bar the position.
I think you're right. I was going to finish off with I've just noticed a bunch of former Warriors in the news.
Oh yeah, sweet.
And it just all happened at once, and I wanted to touch on. I knew you'd have some opinions on it.
Yeah, okay.
The first one's a bit of old news. It's a good week or two old. But talking of our loan players and this guy in the Roosters 2020 game that we talked about in the Slump Busters segment stood up to Jared Waerea-Hargreaves and got right in his face. Oh, Jack Hetherington, the beloved Warriors loan player.
Yeah.
Squaring up. We won't see him this weekend against the Warriors. He's still on suspension for his little set two with Reid Marnie and his.
He just can't keep a lid on it. That dude, eh? Jesus,
he's a loose caboose, eh?
He really is.
Yeah. I just want to mention him as one of our favourite sort of short-term Warriors. another very short-term warrior, a one-game warrior actually, and he had a blinder in that game. It was the final round of 2019, and he was a late inclusion on the wing. Tane Milne.
Yeah.
That's almost his career highlight, that one game he played for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Everywhere else he's gone, it's been a bit of a train wreck, to be honest.
It's polarising. He is polarising.
Yeah, that cannonball was an absolute doozy. He deservedly copped a suspension. So he wasn't on deck last night. But yeah, poor Tane Milne. Geez, he had a good game against the Raiders.
He did.
In Canberra that day.
It was out of it that he only played one game for us. Like, we were screaming out for his sort of position that year, and then they play in the final. It was. And then decided to play the last game. Had he already signed with someone else? Why were they even bothering? Or was
I think what happened, I think he actually did an ACL or something in the pre-season or round one in 2020, not in first grade, obviously, and then, obviously COVID and everything, and then lobbed up at the Rabbitohs the season after.
He's a journeyman. I sort of pigeonhole him with is he still at the club? Who was I just thinking of? His name was there and it's just escaped me. That's annoying. Braden Williami. Where's he now? Is he still at the club?
He's at the club in an off-field role, yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So
did he retire?
Yeah, he got injured, remember. He was actually round one pick and then got injured.
Braden Williami?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe you. Did he not play a couple of New South Wales Cup games? Was this last year or this year?
Last year.
He played New South Wales Cup a few games last year, though, didn't he?
Is
that right? And now he's in an off-field role like a Ben Henry or these luckless Warriors.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of it.
Yeah, so he played in round 1 and 2 for the Warriors last year. He, big cure centres, and he actually snaked a roll there ahead of...
Because he had that blind warm-up game, didn't he? Didn't he have a blind pre-season game?
Good trial.
Yeah.
Good trial. And it was him and Pompey. I think Pompey was even with the two centres. It was a bit of a surprise. He ended up getting injured in that second game, came back, he actually played 9 games. So you're right, he actually played all the way through to the preliminary final for the New South Wales Cup team. Hung up the boots and has an off-field role with the club. Back to Tane Milne, he bit of a few off-field problems, started his career at the Dragons, wrote a letter to the Warriors. And I think, Stephen Kearney liked the cut of his jib.
He wrote a letter?
Yeah. Wrote a letter.
Good on him. Proactive. Yeah. You got to respect that, don't you? Even if he is a dickhead.
And he's actually been at South for the last 4 years. Played in some big games, got sent off in a preliminary final. Yeah, he's good for a brain snap.
Yeah.
For old Tane. But, just another quirk in Warriors history. Last Saturday night at Campbelltown, Reece Walsh vomiting on the field.
That was out of it, eh? Yeah. It's like, come on, guys, send some help out. He sort of just lay there stricken for so long. And no one come near.
What I have to do? The blood have to start coming out of his ears before he...
What is with... Is it Alfie Langer? Is he's too busy sucking back a 4X to get out there and help anyone? Same with Reynolds. Reynolds got an intercept when he only had one leg. What's up with the blue shirts at the Broncos?
Yeah, the most important players. Battle on.
Die slowly. Yeah. Poor old Reece.
He's going bloody good though.
Oh, he's sharp.
One. This one's a bit off the wall. Close out the pod. Eva Ropati. Now, the article called him a Warriors great. Now that is a stretch, but he is a former Kiwis international and part of obviously a celebrated rugby league family.
Warriors great. How many games did he play? 5. I'm saying 5 straight away.
You're not far off. He played 7 first grade games for the Warriors and across 96, 97.
So 5 must be the cutoff to becoming a Warriors great, is it?
Yeah.
You qualify.
He did score 3. He scored in each of his last 3 games. That might have given him the Warriors great tag. Or I think we put the article together at the Bay of Plenty Herald or whatever.
What one do you reckon? Although So, what one do you reckon all those row parties look like? Is it the mum or the dad that had those real strong genes? They all look the same, eh? They've all just a slight differentiate looks-wise. Yeah. Do you reckon it's the mum or the dad?
Looking brothers.
I reckon the old boy.
The folks. Yeah.
Strong
genes. I wonder if there's any sisters. 5 very good. No, was it 4 or 5? Very good footy playing brothers.
Yeah, they were
for the same Auckland team. Now, back to the story.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to search the story.
Is this on? This is New Zealand news, eh?
Came out of nowhere. Because this is what caught my eye. Otherwise, I would have scanned straight past it. The headline is Bay of Plenty principal says government school phone banners overstepping. But then the blurb in the Facebook post said Warriors great, blah 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 blah. And old Eva Rapati, he's a principal down at what school is it? Papamoa College.
Is he? That's a nice part of the world.
Yeah,
he's living the dream. That ain't no decile 10, eh? Jesus, old Eva's landed on his feet there. Gee whiz.
He's actually looking, I'm just looking at some photos. He's aged well. He's looking bloody good. And he looks very stately, like a very distinguished principal. But he's aged better than us, that's for damn sure.
And he's wading in wading into
the cell phone debate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read you a quote from.
This has had a nerve, this little thing with you, eh? You've really latched onto this article. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
I think I'm probably on the side of the band's probably a good thing. I don't know, but
shit.
I don't have any kids in school with a cell phone. But Eva Rapati has said the ban was almost an unmanageable situation for schools to police, particularly at intervals and break times with uncooperative students. Another quote from Eva. Sadly, most of our teaching staff will be at the pointy end of that monitoring, confiscations and the like. That is unnecessary conflict that our staff are being put in and is unfortunate. Well, I can kind of see where he's come from there. I mean,
I know.
To police.
And I know this heavily favoured Warriors, we've turned into politics all of a sudden, but it's funny, look, the government's no gang patches. So this dude in a suit said, none of these big, tough bastards and 40 of them in a circle are allowed to wear gang patches. Police, good luck, boys. Yeah. Go rip them off them. Good luck. It's like the cell phones. Someone's made a rule and now these poor teachers are going to police it. It's like,
Yeah.
But
you can see the logic behind it, but
Like I heard the other day.
Point of view.
That office landline is going to get thrashed now because all those kids that were texting their parents is going to go to the office and go, I need to ring my mum to bring me shorts. I forgot my PE shorts. Where a simple text would have sufficed, eh? The world we live in. Oh, well, never mind. We just have to absorb that. Yeah.
Do your kids, especially Ted, is he hankering for a cell phone yet?
He's got one, and it's funny. We're actually going through his first. It's not bullying because Ted doesn't give a shit, but a kid's got hold of his number and having a nudge at Ted.
Bullying.
Yeah. This weird. Oh, it's not really text bullying. He knows him, and Ted's got this mullet. My boy, he took out the AMP show down Milton. That's as thick as you can get in mullet comp. When it comes to mullet, it's the holy grail. Yeah, Ted went down, took it out, best mullet 2023. He's got the hat, the ribbon, AMP show. But this kid's like, what's with your hair? You look like a girl. What? So we're actually going through from when Tracy, it was just this morning, when Tracy told me that at work, I was like, what one's his dad? And I'm straight away about, no, it's not that I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to make sure you got to be a dad, don't you? You got to be a dad, and you can't, even though my only rule is, even if I'm going to lose, I'll get one. I just want one to land. Let them know I'm there. Let them know I'm there. I don't care if I go down. Just let one. So my blood was boiling. So yeah, it's a tough old time. But in terms of that,
I don't think I've ever seen you angry, actually, Brad.
I don't. But if it rears its head, I like to put that fire out real quick. real, and you have to be in my shape and size. You gotta sort of. It's like boxing. You gotta win the mind game first. If this dude thinks you're a lunatic and I'm gonna bite your throat out, if you chuck out a line like I'm gonna bite a chunk out of your throat, with it, when it has like the fire's just tinder, it hasn't even sparked or turned into a flame. If you're throwing out those sort of lines early doors, it might scare them out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. It's my son. I'm not angry. It's my son though. It's my son.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
yeah. Exactly. At the end of the yeah. So no, it's funny. But in terms of content coming up, oh, that's what I was about to go into. Content wise for the show, guess what I'm shopping for?
Oh, what?
A new pair of pants.
Oh, you.
Yes. Here we go, kids. Yeah. So I'm looking for like a blue pair of jeans, maybe I don't know. I'm looking at just a classic Levi's 501, but yeah, I don't know. So watch this space.
One of the great story arcs in the history of this podcast, Brad's pants.
Yeah. Oh well, we've talked enough shit, haven't we?
Yeah, we got to stop before it gets to 2 hours because that'd be embarrassing.
Yeah,
but yeah, well, if you've got this far, geez, you've done pretty well. Yeah. Play the Mix and Mick game. Mick and Picks, what is it? Mix and Pick game.
Mix and Pick, yeah.
Enter the Joe's Garage contest. Put all your shit in the King's Container Crew container. Who else? Listen to the Joel and Tim Joel show.
And like we said at the top of the show, this one here was orientated at just taking our mind off the little slump our team's in. Get out there, be happy, people. Fucking
probably more
enjoy.
Of an excuse for me and you to hang out.
Yeah.
Just a little correction. It is the Joel and Tim show. We were saying it wrong the whole time. It's the Joel and Tim show. Is it?
Out of it. God, we're good. Fuck. Yeah. No, we were good. Oh well, bro. Let's cut this.
Yeah. So you said you were going to post this one, Brad. You're going to edit it.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of editing to do tonight too. Jeez, if people can only see behind the curtains, there's a lot we've got to tidy up. Stuff,
Brad is but I have to go and do some editing to avert possible legal action. Yeah,
it's the first time I've seen you displeased in me. And I tell you what, load in. Me and Will both talk about our last ever show that we're ever going to put across the airwaves, and a lot of tonight's show is going to be in it. And honest, if you don't listen to anything else, listen to our last ever show, because that's where the outtakes and stuff that will get us cancelled lies.
I can't believe you said that, but 1 hour and 8 minutes that I have to cut out. I mean, what were you thinking?
It's been a long show. The wheels are starting to come off this sucker, eh?
Yeah.
There was bits there I forgot about where we'd started, what we were even talking about. This is all getting cut, eh?
No, this is still going in. I can only do so many edits, Brad. And I've got the time stamps written down here. I already have to make 4, so I'm not doing 5.
Righto, mate.
Thanks for joining us. This was really just an excuse for me and Brad to hang out for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
we've enjoyed it. If you haven't, then more the fool you for listening to it for this long. If you have enjoyed it, well, I don't know. I'm not sure where your life's at. We appreciate you anyway. Enjoy the Knights Warriors on Sunday. Tune in for some more, cohesive content next week.
Yeah, exactly. Up the wires.